Well, welcome to today's webinar training as we're going to be working on how to create great ads. This is a major strength to have when you learn how to create good, effective advertising. It is going to change your business. Marketing and advertising is the lifeblood of generating new business, and as a business owner or an employee of a business, this is a huge thing that has to happen for the growth of the business. Hopefully you're already optimizing your business as far as learning how to sell more to your current customers and clients, how to benefit them more, how to get them to stay with you longer, as we call business maximization. But once all that is in place, then you need to generate more clients and customers. And so creating effective ads is a huge part of that. And when you learn how to do this, it makes lead generation and acquisition of new clients a whole lot easier. And so we're going to be going through and covering a lot of material in this training. And so to make sure that you don't lose it all, I want to make sure that at the end of this, I'm going to tell you how you can get a copy of two different resources that I can provide for you. One is a PDF workbook on how to create amazing ads. So it's a little workbook that covers more in general, in brief, what we're going to be covering in this training, but then gives you some worksheets that as you sit down to actually create an ad, you can go through this step by step. The material that we're going to be covering. So I can send you a copy of that you can use. You can print off or use it online as many times as you need. And then I can also send you a copy of my guide, The Science of Great Advertising. And this goes through how to use psychology and different motivating principles across your advertising. So at the end of this, I'll remind you how you can contact me and get copies of this to help you as you're creating ads. So we're going to go through the foundation of really all great marketing, and we need to cover this. And if I'm already working with you, some of this is going to be repeat or sound familiar. And so just bear with me if this is stuff that you already know or that we've already talked about. But this is foundational to creating great ads because this is foundational to all great marketing. And again, you may have heard me talk about this before, but we're going to be talking about the ABCD'S of great marketing. So we keep it simple. It's as simple as ABC, and then we're going to add the D, which is one of the most important parts of it. But we're going to start off with ABC because we need to first define our audience and then develop bait and then determine what channel we're going to be using in our marketing. And this is essential to all great marketing. Who is our target audience? Who are we going for? We're going to be talking about our ideal client and creating even an avatar of our ideal client so that it shapes all of our marketing that we pursue. And then bait, just like if we're fishing and fly fishermen spend hours and tons of money creating the perfect fly for that particular fish to bite on. And it's the same thing with good advertising and marketing. Once you identify your target audience, then what is that bait that's going to get them to respond? And then the channel, how do we get this bait in front of that target audience? What channel do we use? So let's start going through this talking about who our audience is. Who's the target audience? We want to define who is your ideal client. And I underlined ideal because we really need to think about that. Who is the person, the type of person that we really want for our business? Who's the best client for our business? And that's not everybody. Many business owners in their marketing we'll take anybody. And sure, you'll take anybody. But that's ultimately not what's best for your business. So you really need to figure out who is your ideal client. Who's the person that you want that, and hopefully as a business owner or even as an employee, even somebody comes to mind that you say, man, if all my clients were like this person, we would be set. That'd be gold. And we're going to use that a little bit later on. But you really need to identify who is the client that you want and is best for your business. And then so think through, who is that person? What is their age? Are they male or female? What's their sex? What's their education level? What type of occupation do they have? What level of income are they? What are their living conditions? Do they own their home? Do they rent? Do they have multiple homes? What kind of relationships do they have? Not even just married or single or that kind of thing, but what other type of friendships or groups are they a part of? Hobbies and interests. How do they spend their time and their money? What do they like to learn about and do? Are there particular habits that they have in their lifestyle? Just anything that you can think of who this type of person is. And it might not even pertain to your business or your service or what you're offering, but by getting this information, you're going to see a little bit later on, can help us in everything else that we're going to be doing in creating ads and our marketing campaigns. So the more information that you can develop and identify of who your ideal client is, the more it's going to help you. So we're actually going to kind of practice this in creating your ideal client avatar. So let's kind of work through this as an example. So say you're a yoga studio, and so we're going to develop an ideal client avatar for this yoga studio. So who's our ideal client? Who's the kind of person that we want to work with? So it's going to be a female woman. We're going to give her the name of Jane. Again, we're going to get real specific. She's 32 years old. She has a college degree. She's married with two, maybe thinking about the third kid. She's a homeowner. Obviously, she loves fitness and health food. That's why she, invests in yoga. She reads Women's Health and the New York Times. So again, this is where even understanding something that might not particularly pertain to yoga or even health, but this is another thing that they are interested in, that they read as a hobby, and it's important to know that. She also runs each day. She takes vitamins and supplements. So again, I would suggest even getting more detailed, more specific, look at other areas that we've covered, but this just kind of gives you an example of what you're going to want to do and work through in defining your ideal client, and getting this information ahead of time is going to help us the rest of the way. And so in creating your ideal client avatar, be specific. Okay, we're going to look at this later on, but if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. So that really the more specific you can be, it's going to help you out. So do the work ahead of time to get this down. I even have materials that at the end, if you ask, I've got materials with lists and checkboxes to help you identify your ideal client and all the subjects and aspects about them that you would want to know. So you can request that as well. But be specific. And then avatars might be different for different products and or services. So, if you're a yoga studio and you have a class, you might have a class that's specifically for women. So you're going to have an avatar. You're going to have that avatar of Jane for that specific class. But say you've got a different class that your yoga studio offers that might be more geared toward a different type of person, maybe a male or a teenager or something like that. Or you offer a self-defense course. And so you might need to create a whole different avatar for different products or services that you offer. And then obviously evaluate and update your avatars as needed, as your products and services might change, or even as culture changes, or maybe you're realizing that type of person really isn't your ideal client. You might need to evaluate and update it. But do the work ahead of time of identifying who your target audience is, your ideal client. That's going to take us into the bait. And if you haven't done that work of identifying your audience, then you're not really going to know what type of bait and how to create your bait. So you really need to do that first. So what will make your ideal client respond? So again, that assumes you know who your ideal client is. What's going to get their attention? What's going to make them say, hey, I'm interested in what you have to offer? So how do we do that? How do we create effective bait? So now that you know your target, your ideal client, ask yourself, what is the conversation going on in your client's head? All right? And what do I mean by that is how does your product or service meet their needs? So first you've got to, what's that conversation in their head? What is their needs? What is what are they dealing with? What is the frustration, the pain, the inconvenience, the cost, the fear? What are those things that they are struggling with? And so that's the conversation in their head. And so then how does your product or service meet their needs? So my wife does interior design, and we were talking and working through some of this. We were analyzing what is the conversation in her ideal client's head, and typically they're afraid of the cost of interior design and whether or not they can trust that interior designer. And so as we create bait, we've got to answer those questions. How does she, as an interior designer, develop trust? Why should they trust her? And know that she is going to give them the very best possible design within their budget. It's not going to blow their budget. It's not going to exceed their costs. So how does your product or service meet their needs? Better yet, how does it give them what they want? Okay? But it's important to know their needs, but people buy based on what they want more than what they need. And if you even analyze your own life, you probably know that's true. So think what was the last thing that you purchased, and was that something that you really needed or something that you wanted? And to be honest, it was probably a blend of the two, which is why I said you need to know both. So maybe you just bought deodorant. Well, you didn't buy any deodorant. I mean, you needed deodorant, but you didn't just buy any deodorant. You bought the deodorant that you wanted. You liked the smell of it. You liked the other benefits that it offered. And so you chose what you wanted. So how does your product or service give your ideal client what they want based on the conversation that's going on in their head? And then what is the end result that they want from your product or service? Okay, what does it do for them? How does it improve them? How does it solve their problems or their needs? And so one of the things I want you to kind of understand is Dr. Murray Banks, who's a psychologist that's really popular. She says that all buying springs out of 4 basic motives or wants. And I've heard this in lots of different ways, and this is just kind of a good summary for you. But everybody wants these 4 things. They want to live longer and better. So does your product or service help them to live longer, be healthier? Or does it improve their life in some way, give them more satisfaction and joy? Does it relieve stress or escape from problems? But does it allow them to live longer or better? 2, does it give them a feeling of importance? Respect, power, prestige, admiration, or we could say even pride. And this is I would say the only real area that brand marketing really pays off is if your brand gives them this feeling. It gives them prestige, admiration. It's an identification kind of thing. But this is really the only place that brand marketing really takes hold, is if your product or service gives them a feeling of importance and your brand does that. And for most small to medium-sized businesses, that's just not the case. And that's why we're going to see where we're going to use a different type of marketing that's more effective. And then 3, to be appreciated. People want to feel valued, appreciated, cared for. So does your product or service meet that want? And then the desire for variety or change. Is it new? Is it better? Is it more efficient? Is it more cost effective? Is it set apart or different? So the desire for variety or change can be met by your product or service. So as we go through these, what's the conversation going on in their head? What is it that they're dealing with? How does our product service meet that need? How does it give them what they want? What's the end result that they're going to get from using our product or service? And how do you meet their need by giving them what they want? So that is how we're going to go through creating effective bait. And so once we answer that question of this is the conversation in their head, This is how our product or service meets that conversation, answers those questions, gives them what they want. So how are we going to deliver that to them? So what will get them to respond? Is it a certain education or content marketing? Are we going to inform them about our product or service? Is it a tip sheet, a how-to, a top 10, or what to look for that we're going to offer them that they're going to want? Is it a webinar or teleseminar that they're going to be interested in to learn about this solution or this product that you have? Maybe we can offer a free book or CD, an irresistible offer of some type that, man, you just can't, you can't say no. I mean, I don't want to lose money on this deal, so I better take it. So is it an irresistible offer that will get them to respond? Maybe it's a one-time only or limited time offer, or a package deal. Maybe we can offer different products or services together as a package deal. Maybe we just have an amazing price on something, and that is going to get them to respond. But think through, as your product or service meets this need, answers that question, gives them what they want, how are we going to get their attention and get them to bite? And so lots of different ways that we can do that. Once we've created that bait, that tip sheet, that irresistible offer, then we're going to say, what's the channel? All right, how are we going to deliver this bait to our ideal client? And what's the most effective way to do that? And so the question to ask is, where is my ideal client spending time and getting information? Again, this goes back to, you've had to have done the work to identify that ideal client and know what are their interests, what do they do, so how do they spend their time, where do they get their information from, because that could provide you a great channel to deliver your bait. Can I effectively deliver my bait through this medium? So, you could say, radio advertising is a channel to deliver bait, but it might not be an effective way to deliver your bait. So can you effectively deliver that bait through that particular channel? So look at some possible channels for delivering that bait. So there's print ads. So what papers or magazines are my ideal clients getting? Is there any other print material that they are reading, subscribing to, that would be a great place to get their attention and offer your bait? What media is my ideal client watching or listening to? So is there a particular radio station that my ideal client listens to all the time? Is there a YouTube channel, or if they're into gaming now, Twitch is the up and coming thing. So what other media aspects? What's their favorite show? I mean, you can think through all these different things of what are they watching, what are they listening to, and then social media. What social media services is my ideal client on? If we go back to our yoga studio example, 32-year-old woman, she's probably on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. So those would probably be ideal channels to deliver bait to that target audience. So what social media services is your client on? And this is going to lead us to just talk a few minutes further about the power of Facebook. Now, in the recent years, Facebook has been in some decline just because of their leaked information and security issues and those kind of things. But it still is a very powerful channel to deliver bait. And so just going to throw up a couple statistics here of the range that's on Facebook currently, and this really shouldn't surprise you. So as you're looking through these age groups, people 30 to 49, 84% of people 30 to 49 have a Facebook account and are active on it every day. I mean, that's just huge. And so even if Facebook is on decline and continues to decline, right now it's still a great channel to reach a lot of people, and most likely your ideal client. But we're going to talk a little bit for a minute on how we do that, because a lot of businesses are simply still depending on organic reach. So just general posts on your business Facebook page. And this comes from wordstream.com, Facebook results in 2018. And look at this, organic reach for branded or business Facebook pages is 2% on average. So, I mean, I think that's still on the really low end of the spectrum, but even if it was 10%, so how many followers do you have for your business Facebook page? You got 500, 600, 2,000. Well, take 10% of that, and at most 10% are seeing your Facebook posts. And those are people that have already liked your page, subscribed to your page, following you. So they're already interested in your business. So you're not reaching anybody new. And so it frustrates me a little bit when I see a lot of businesses that's their marketing strategy, is simply using organic reach, and they're sometimes even paying people to create posts for them that what this research is saying is only 2% of their followers are actually seeing. So is that a wise use of time, money, and effort? Now, the other side of that is when you actually create targeted Facebook ads, you pay Facebook to put it in front of people, and that is much more effective. And so this same research was showing the average cost per click on Facebook is $1.72 across all industries. So $1.72 to get somebody to click a link, go to your website, or download information, better yet, even give you information, give you their contact information. In the world of marketing, that is still, pretty relatively very cheap when you look at other forms, other channels of marketing. The conversion rate on Facebook ads across all industries is 9.2%. Again, in the world of marketing, that's pretty good. You can see for some industries, it's even better on Facebook. And so the point being is Facebook is still a very powerful, cost-effective channel for advertising. And so the power is in the information that they already have and the targeting abilities that they give you. So I'm just going to give you an example of some ads that I've done for some realtors and Lansing City page. And you can see the cost here was for the result is really cheap. We spent $70. We're going to look at this Apple Selling Homes. This is a realtor out in California. And we spent $70 and we got 17 leads for that $70. So the 17 people that were interested in real estate and it's a lead form. So we got their contact information. So this realtor was able to follow up with these 17 people. And in the world of real estate, in the research shows that can be very effective. I'm getting kind of off topic, and we want to keep our time here. So I just want to show you the power of Facebook, because we were able to target a specific location, a specific age range, and we could even get more specific if we wanted. Their interests. These were people that were first-time home buyers. They were renters for this particular ad, and so they were likely to move. They were already interested in Zillow and Homes.com and Realtor.com. So you can see we were able to specifically target, and this is just one area of targeting that Facebook allows you to do. But other channels of marketing don't allow you that ability to target that way. If you create a print ad or a billboard or a radio ad, you're not able to have that kind of targeting. So this is where Facebook and other social media platforms can be very effective, very specific forms of marketing. So audience bait channel, and now we're going to get it to the D, which is one of the most important parts of our marketing efforts. And the D stands for direct response. And the reason direct response is so essential for small and medium-sized business marketing is because if you're just putting information out there without asking for a response, that's the primary way to fail at marketing. Okay, how do you measure the response or return of your marketing dollars if you don't ask for one? If you don't ask for a response, if you don't ask people to act on your ad, then how do you know it worked? And a lot of marketing agencies don't like to use direct response specifically for that reason. Now, I've created ads before on Facebook and did direct response, did a call to action, and we'll get into that. And they didn't get a response. So hey, that didn't work. We've got to change something on it. But we know it didn't work because we were asking for a response and we didn't get it. So we know we've got to change something. But if you just put information out there, the only way to measure your marketing is by how many people see it. And that doesn't cut it in business. So we want to use direct response. But this is so rare in the world of marketing. And the marketing world is so absent of this, oblivious to this. It really is amazing. And I want to show you some examples just to show you, because I want you to be aware of this and not be duped by this. But this is from Canva, which is great software, by the way. If you're creating ads on your own, you don't have a graphic designer, this is great software to use. And I've used it before. I use other programs, but it's a great tool to have. And they've got a lot of good information. But here is an article that they put out on the most brilliant print ads. So 50 genius print ads with brilliant design techniques. So in their opinion, or in this author's opinion, these are great print ads. Now I'm going to go through and show you their top few. And I want you to ask the question of, is this going to get a response? Is this going to get people to purchase their product or service? Because isn't that the point of marketing and of advertising, is to get people to purchase and use your product or service? So do these ads effectively do that? So their number one ad that they thought was genius is this one. It's by Adidas. And it's a girl doing a sit-up or a crunch. And they think this is genius because you could take the pages with the fold and actually have her do crunches. And their next one is you can have this girl lift the weights by moving the pages. Are we children that we need a pop-up book? Does this motivate? Does this tell you anything about what's the product? What do they want you to buy? Now, Adidas is a huge business. They can afford just to put their image out there. This is called branding. Just put your image out there. Make people aware that you're there. Great. We know about Adidas. But this is not going to inspire anybody to purchase. There isn't even a specific product that they're offering. So, they're spending all this money on this huge 2-page ad. And what is going to be their return? They're going to have no idea. I guarantee you they have no idea what the return on this ad is going to be. Let's look at another one. This is their second one. So they're saying, make your audience look twice. So this is an ad by Honda motorcycles. And evidently we're supposed to figure out that all these semis are in a maze because traffic is like a maze and a motorcycle lets you navigate that maze. I don't know about you, but when I'm looking at a magazine or a newspaper and I see an ad, I don't do that much thinking about it. I don't try to figure it out. So again, how does this inspire people to want to purchase a Honda motorcycle? I don't think it does. And again, they have no way of knowing whether or not you were influenced by this particular ad. I doubt it. I'm going to show you this next one. And I just want you to try to guess. I've taken out their comments. So this is just the ad. And yes, this is the actual ad that was in print. And I want you to tell me what you think is the product. So take a look at this ad. This is the ad. What is the product? And would you want it? So now I'm going to add their information, what they say about this ad. This was number 21 on their list. Evidently, the product is the cookware, and they think it's great just because of the layout and the design. Now, I agree. It's pretty. It satisfies my OCD, but I don't know if it was a recipe for something. If it's a food service, I mean, the only thing is food and the cookware. So yeah, it's probably the cookware. But again, it has, why is that a great pot and pan? It even looks like the handles don't line up correctly. So anyway, let's look at some ads that that actually do work. And to show you that, yes, these large companies like Adidas and Coke and whatever, and we're going to see McDonald's, they do branding, but they can afford to do branding because they're also using other types of advertising that actually get responses and work. And they built their businesses on that type of advertising. And now they're so big, they can afford to do branding, but they still use effective ads. And here's one from McDonald's. So let's look at this. This is a Facebook ad. So they're targeting their audience. Every 7 minutes, a batch of fries are born. Get $1 off. So there's an offer when you purchase through the McDonald's app. So they're telling you how to get this offer. To get $1 off, use their app. There's a link to it right there, which on Facebook can all be tracked and measured. So they're going to know exactly who responded from this ad, what their cost was, what their return on that cost was. And we even see, I think they could have made the print bigger, that it's a limited time offer. They could have put that in the text to make it even better. Here's another one from Rosetta Stone. So we're going to look at in just a minute how to create great ads. So here we have a great headline: New Year's flash sale. It's going to get your attention. It's an email exclusive. Look at this irresistible offer. It was $500. Now it's only $174. Interesting price, isn't it? $174. They do that for a reason. There's a shop now button. So they're giving a call to action. They're asking for a direct response. You need to get the special. And even you get an extra $15 off, but this deal ends soon. So there's urgency. But then their ad is also giving us a lot of information on see why it works, see why it's valuable. It's going to solve your issue. It's going to help you learn a foreign language. So this is an example of an actually an effective ad. Last one, this was an email advertising campaign. Let's look at the text of this, and we're going to pull some principles out of this as we get into the nuts and bolts of creating ads. Hi, Cindy. So there's inserting somebody's name there. It's personal. I'm getting thousands of orders a day, and I can't keep Boom in stock. Oh, there's urgency. They're creating tension and fear. So you don't miss out. I've temporarily reserved the items in your shopping cart, but I really can't hold them much longer. So this is an abandoned shopping cart email. It's creating urgency, fear of losing out. If you're ready to complete your purchase now before they sell out, here's what I have set aside for you. So there's the product. Click here to go to the cart. Hurry, complete your purchase before supplies run out. So again, there's lots of urgency but they're asking for that response. Don't lose it. Complete your purchase now. Click here. They make it easy. Lots of great material in this. And look at the results of this. This converted so well. It drove about $20,000 in sales over the course of a month with a 9.4% conversion rate, which with email marketing, that's huge. And so they say, you might become tempted to call it a day with that type of ad, but they're using the principles that I'm talking about, and it works. And the big companies are using advertising that works. Don't be fooled to think that all they're doing is branding. They're using direct response marketing to actually build their business, and the branding is simply maintaining and keeping their name out there. And they can afford to do that, but you can't. So make sure you're targeting your audience, you're creating effective bait, you're picking the right channels, and then you're asking for a direct response. So here's some practical ways to make your ad direct response, and we saw them in these examples. Okay, give a call to action. Ask them to respond. Give them an irresistible offer or an exclusive, a limited time offer, or some deal that they just can't resist. A coupon code. So using a coupon code is a great way to measure your ads. If they bring in that code, mention that code, or mention the ad, you can measure it. Give a specific number to call or a specific website or landing page to visit. Those are all ways that to make it a direct response ad that's measurable, testable, you know if it's working or not. So that we've covered our ABCDs, our target audience, create effective bait, pick the right channel, and use direct response. So again, a lot of that might be review for you, but that is the foundation of all marketing. And we need to know that and have that in place as we sit down to actually create our ad, because that's the foundation for it. So let's get into the practicality of how to actually create an effective ad. Knowing these principles of target audience, bait, channel, direct response, and you're going to see those come into play as we go through and how to create our ads. So when we sit down to create an ad, we want to take aim. As you can tell, I like acronyms. They make things easy to remember and simplify these processes that sometimes can be very complex. So when you sit down to create your next ad, take aim. So we're going to start off with an attention-getting headline. We want to get the attention of our ideal client or our target audience. Who is this ad for? Who are we talking to? Get their attention with a great, effective headline. Then, once we've got their attention, we want to build their interest by explaining the benefits of what we have to offer. Why do we want their attention? Why should they spend their time getting more information or contacting us or purchasing our product or service? What's in it for them? Okay, a lot of businesses and marketing agencies and stuff, in their ads, they talk about themselves. They talk about the business. We've been family owned for 30 years and we're certified in this and we can do this and that and that. People don't care about you and your business. They care about themselves. So tell them how your product or service benefits them. How does it give them what they want? And that's what we covered in that foundation of creating our bait for our target audience. So get their attention with a headline, build their interest by explaining this is why it benefits them so much, and then our direct response, give them a motivating call to action. So attention, interest, motivate. That's how we take aim. So let's look at an example of a well-created direct response print ad. As we can see, big headline, 10 mistakes retirees make with their finances and how to avoid them. So who's the target audience? It's retirees, of course. So if you're not a retiree, are you going to spend any more time reading this ad? No. And we don't want you to if you're not a retiree, because you're not our ideal client. You're not who we're going for. So good ads turn away people that you're not trying to target. That's how it makes them more efficient. So free report for retirees reveals. So again, we're creating interest immediately. We're telling them there's something's free. That's always a buzzword, a keyword, and it works. And so we've got the attention of our target audience with a great headline. Now we're going to build interest with benefits. Many retirees make financial mistakes that cost them thousands of dollars each year. You've earned it. Don't lose it. So there's some fear. There's some psychology involved here. This free report will show you how to, so here's our benefits: protect your retirement, reduce taxes, grow your accounts without risk, reduce taxes on investments, and 6 other specific savings strategies. So there's our benefits. We've created interest. I want this. So how do I get it? Here's the call to action. Call this 24-hour free report line. So there's a phone number to call to get this report. So I know now what to do. Ask for report number 10. So there's how we can measure the effectiveness of this ad. Is there's a specific way. Report number 10, I'm calling a specific number. There's only 200 available, so call now while supplies last. So there's urgency. So attention, interest, motivating call to action. And so this was done in a print ad. Let me show you how this can be done on Facebook. So we talked earlier about the ads for the real estate. Apple's Team Realty, they're in Lakewood, California. So here's some Facebook ads that I ran for them. And I used, again, some of these strategies. In Facebook, you can't quite, sometimes you can't quite use all of them, but these were lead generating ads. So we got contact information from people. So let's look at the first one. No more rent payments. There's our headline. Who's that targeting? If you're a homeowner, are you going to be interested by that? Of course not. You don't have rent payments. But if you're renting and you're frustrated with renting, that's going to get your attention. A key to when you're getting started with this is use if-then statements. If this is you, if this is your problem, if this is your frustration, then this. We've got the solution. And so you can see that's the tactic I used in these ads. If your rent payments are getting you nowhere, then find out how you can own your own home for the same monthly payment. Act now. Get our list of the top 10 homes ready for you. And then down below, free download the top 10 homes. And then look at this strategy. Renters just like you, so there's identification, there's personality, are becoming homeowners. That's the solving their problem. Before it's too late, urgency. Get the list that, ... Now, did Facebook cut off the rest of my text? Nope. I specifically wrote it like that to create interest. So this is a lead generation ad. They click on that download link. Facebook automatically fills in their contact information that is submitted. We email them the download, and the Apple's team then continues their follow-up sequence with that contact that we know is interested in going from renting to owning. Here's the other one for sellers. If you're thinking about selling your home, all right, so you've got to be a homeowner interested in selling if you want more information, then use our free guide to maximize its selling potential. Preparing your home the right way before listing it can gain you thousands of dollars. There's the benefit, the interest. Get your free guide. Don't list your home without making sure it's ready. Our free guide will help you discover the areas of your home that ... Again, creating that intrigue, that interest. These two ads generated over, I think the combination of these two ads generated over 130 different leads of people that were looking at buying and selling. So very effective for the cost of using these principles. Let's look at just a couple more. Lansing parents. So if you're not in the Lansing area and you're not a parent, you're going to move on. But if you are, hopefully that got your attention. Bright yellow picture, surprised look. That's an advantage of Facebook. Nice, pick a good image. But Lansing parents are discovering this amazing opportunity for their kids to have fun, make new friends, and learn how to play soccer the right way. Sounds interesting. Those are all the benefits of the interesting benefits. Don't miss out on this academy. So there's urgency where they can. Here's the benefits again. Have 2 hours a week of fun with new friends, develop good sportsmanship and teamwork, learn the right techniques to play soccer the best way. The headline below, one of the best ways you can spend $5 on your kids. Sounds cheap and interesting. You still have time to take advantage of the ... There we go again. Again, we got a lot of interest. We actually doubled the youth academy at that soccer club by running this ad. Went from 35 kids to over 70 that responded to this ad. Then you can see the one that I've used myself for my own business. Advertising sucks. Get attention. It's usually a waste of money, but it's a necessary evil for business, right? Is that the pain? Is that the conversation in your head that, man, advertising is a waste of money, but I got to do it? But that's before discovering and implementing these 4 marketing strategies that changed my return on investment. If you're a business owner, so there's that targeting that audience who's tired of wasting your ad spend, then get this free guide giving you those same 4 proven marketing strategies. The first one is still used by Disneyland, and hardly anyone is doing number 4, and it makes all the difference. So that's how you can do these, create effective ads on Facebook. Here's a print ad that was changed. So the original is on the left side, and the updated and more effective one that got a huge a change in the return is on the right. So the left one is a typical ad that you're going to see. You would look at that and say, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. McCain's Carpet Dry Cleaning, residential, commercial, upholstery cleaning, over 20 years experience, free estimates, insurance work, water restoration, so that's what they can do. They're UCCI certified, Oriental rugs. So again, a lot about the business. Look at the one on the right. This is the one that actually generated a lot of business for them. Free carpet cleaning. Wouldn't that get your attention? Questions and answers hotline. So there's a number to call to get more information so they can measure the results of this ad. You'll learn the 5 questions you should ask any cleaner before you hire them. Don't even think of calling another cleaner until you listen to this recorded message. If you're not absolutely thrilled with your carpet after we're done, we will write you a check on the spot for $50. So they're even building into their ad the guarantee. They're reducing the risk of calling them, of having them do clean your carpets. There is no risk, because if you're not happy with it, you're going to get $50. They shows what they can do, 24-hour emergency service, and then the name of the company with a free quote and a number to call. Ask for Lori at the bottom. But they got your attention first because they care about themselves, not you and your business. So they're interested in free carpet cleaning. Let's keep moving on. So here's another magazine print ad. Here's the attention-getting headline. New radar protection device works so well, we'll pay for your fine if you get a ticket. Again, they built in their guarantee into their headline, which is a great strategy to use. It creates interest and immediately takes away any risk of at least wanting more information or to possibly even purchase. So great headline. They use an article to pique your interest. They talk about the fear of getting caught by the police and speed traps, and then they have the solution is their perfect detector and scrambler that has this new advanced microscan technology. Police radar got better. What is pop radar? So they talk about, hey, here's what the police are using, but hey, we've got something that does even better. So did Phantom Technology. It got better also. They explain and lay out the rebate program for their ticket. And then it's kind of hard to see on the screen here, but it says at the bottom right, that you can have 3 easy payments of only $9.95. So they've broken down the price. Mention promotional code 28021. So again, they're going to be able to measure the response of this ad. There's a number to call. But again, this kind of illustrates attention-getting headline, explain the benefits, have a call for action to get a response. So this is how you're going to create an effective ad by taking aim, write that attention-getting headline, build interest through the benefits, through them, create that motivating call to action. All right? So grab your prospect's attention, give compelling reasons why the reader should contact you, educate, inform, and entice your prospects with specific benefits, create an irresistible offer that forces them to take action. Okay. If you've got space and time, use testimonials, warranties, guarantees to give proof from testimonials, social proof, but then reduce any risk through guarantees or warranties. Make it easy for them to contact you. Make it very clear of what they need to do to contact to either get more information or to purchase. And then if you can, make your ad look different than your competitors' ads. So if we went back to that carpet cleaning example, almost every carpet cleaning business is going to look like that one on the left, but having that black background made it stand out and jump off the page. So if you can design it to get attention and look different than the other ads around it, that can be more effective. So I know we've covered a lot of information in this, and if you can replay it, take notes, go over it again. But also, as I said at the beginning, simply email me and request a copy of these 2 resources, How to Create Amazing Ads, which is going to go over this information again, and then give you kind of worksheets to go through to create your ad. And then I can also send you, if you want, a copy of my guide, The Science of Great Advertising, which is going to give you a whole lot more information and detail into the ways and tactics to create ads that motivate. So if you don't already have it, here's my email address. Take a screenshot, write this down, aaron@custombusinessgrowthsolutions.com. I know that's a long URL there. So write that down. Just simply send me an email and I will email you back PDFs of these two guides that will hopefully help you to create more effective ad campaigns. I hope this has been informative and helpful. If not, please let me know how I can make it better and more clear for you, or work with you individually to help you create more effective marketing and ad campaigns. But send me an email, get your copy, and let's keep working to grow your business.